JP's going to be flying from second. You got the bases loaded. Bauer's well fouled down the third base line. Biggest pitch of the year here for the Mariners. 3-2, bases loaded. Cishek, the pitch. Base hit left field. Here comes JP. Bauer scores. JP scores. Mitch Haniger. What a night. What a night.
It's your boy Guru from Steiny and Guru, noon to 3, right here on 95.7 The Game. Now back to the morning roast. I'm a roaster because these two guys are my guys. Yin and Yang, right here on 95.7 The Game.
Californication.
Dave Sims, Root Sports. Mitch Haniger, the newest Giant.
You want to make me laugh right now? Can you name who this band is?
Creed.
Tell me you're not serious.
Snitching music is not me.
Okay,
Shasky.
it's a vegetable.
Broccoli.
Red
Lettuce.
Hot.
Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Sounds depressing.
This is one of the great albums of all time.
Also one of the great music videos of all time when they're in a video game.
Hey, there's a porcelain song that makes me feel really, really sad. Can you play that later?
Sure.
At some point in the
most
show?
of their songs make you either feel happy or
I
sad.
feel like I'm under
Shout
the
out
bridge
drugs.
right now on heroin, quite honestly. Like Anthony. Is it Cletus? Cletus? How do you pronounce his last name? Ketis, that's it. Thank you.
Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $43 million, opt out after 2. Hit 39 jacks in 2021. Now you may ask what he did in 2022. Well, he didn't play much in 2022. Didn't play much at all. As the Mariners broke, what was it, 16-year playoff drought? No, 20-year playoff drought. Excuse me, 20-year
Yeah,
playoff
remember they
drought.
had the 115-win team?
Yeah. I'm thinking the Sacramento Kings.
Light the beam.
2022, Mitch Haniger played in only 57 games. 57 games, 11 home runs, 34 RBIs, batted .246. .246 last season. So he was injured. However, Giants give him a 3-year, $43 million deal. Eastside San Jose, Big Ed wants to call in, and he says the Giants, Shasky, will be okay. Let's hear from Big Ed. Big Ed on the Morning Roast. What's up?
Hey, brother. How you guys doing this morning? First of all,
I'm
I
hurting.
want to tell you guys, hey, it's beautiful West Side Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Everybody enjoying the beautiful morning. I just want to let you guys know that we'll be okay. The Giants will be okay.
Why would they be
The
okay?
Niners are definitely going to be okay.
Big
The
Ed,
Niners
Big Ed.
coming up. Hey,
Big Ed, let me ask you
Yes,
something.
sir.
How would the Giants be okay?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
you know what? Because the organization has changed dramatically the way it's been. We don't need Judd. We need people that are going to come and be ballers. We'll be okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, can I just... We've just... Wait, one second. The greatest run of success that the San Francisco Giants have ever had came from 1997 all the way through about 2016, 2017, all right? And that was primarily the Brian Sabian, Bobby Evans era. Since then, they have had the biggest drought in terms of winning. 5 out of 6 years they've been losers in my lifetime. I'm 40 years old, all right? So they were a great organization for a long, long time. And the people running it now had one great year, but they didn't build on it. And they used a lot of parts that are either no longer here or were from the prior regime and are aging out. So they got to do it on their own, and they have yet to prove that they can do it on their own.
Just like hearing from you yesterday when you guys talked about all those different quarterbacks that we said the banana in the tailpipe, it's okay. We won't have the banana in the tailpipe because we know it's time to rebuild. We're going to be okay.
Well, we've been rebuilding for Big Ed, I love you. We've been rebuilding for 5 or 6 years. The whole point of bringing Farhan in was so that you could be rebuilt, so that by the time all the money was off the books, there would be some foreign players on the actual team that were showing promise, and a guy like Aaron Judge would consider you. That was the whole point this guy was brought in, and he has failed at making the farm better. Right now, most people have Arizona, San Diego, and the LA Dodgers farm system as infinitely better than the Giants. In fact, the Athletic had all three of those teams who are in your division in the top 7 in terms of farm. Now, I didn't even go to the big league roster because the big league rosters on all three of them are better than yours, period. It's just point blank. We know the Padres and Dodgers. For those that aren't as acutely aware of how good Arizona is, they've got a really nice roster at the big league level, and they've got a ton of guys coming through the system. Giants have nothing.
Luciano? Kyle Harrison? Because
Harrison's a top prospect. There's no doubt, and they get credit for that, but we still haven't seen him.
I threw out the question about a month ago. Why not trade these prospects for Shohei Ohtani?
They don't have enough to be able to move that. And there's no guarantee that Shohei wants to be here. That was my point.
Everybody keeps telling me is Kyle Harrison's a can't-miss prospect. Marco Luciano's a can't-miss prospect. Patrick Bailey's a can't-miss prospect. Hunter Bishop
feels like a stretch.
Is an outfielder. Corner outfielder is going to hit 30 home runs one day. I keep hearing about the farm.
I mean, he's 25. He's in single A, and I'm rooting for him. Another Sarah, a local boy. But come on, we got to call it what it is. Susan Slusser's out here saying that Joey Bart, their 6-year-old catcher, they need an everyday catcher. I'm like, how did the number 2 pick fall off that hard?
Wow.
Meanwhile, Baltimore's top prospect catcher looks like an absolute baller.
Grossman is good.
Yeah, he looks like a baller.
He's good.
What happened? I thought you were good at developing.
Well, let's go to Gabe in Oregon. Gabe in Oregon. Is he mad too?
Hey.
What's up, Gabe?
Hey, good morning, if that's what you guys want to say.
Good morning.
Oh, my gosh. Right now I'm lost for words. I haven't felt this way in a long time, or, 2 years or so now. I feel the way a lot of us felt, and I'm glad that you brought up the Niners. I feel the way we felt after Super Bowl 54, I don't know. It should have been 40. It should have been 400 million 10 years. I don't think the Yankees would have matched that, but I don't know. It's disgusting right now. That's all I have to say.
Look,
you know what?
It's a great point because this is the way I felt about buying my house, Bonte. Once you're locked in 30 years, what is $100,000 over 30 years? Really, honestly, what's $100,000? What's $200,000 over 30 years? Right? Really, what is it? When you get to $350 million. What's 450? On the real, what truly is 450? When we're talking about the valuations of these organizations in the $5 to $10 billion range, with television contracts that are coming up. We haven't even talked about that, but television deals are coming up. Caps are exploding. Once you get to 350, really, what's an extra $75 million? Really, you freaking burned $75 million on Samardzija to be a fifth starter and basically tackle Michael Morris and end his career.
So going back and forth with the New York Yankees seems like a mistake, right? It's the evil empires, the pinstripes. They've got all the money. They've got their own network. They're the New York Yankees. And so I know Spinotti's got some news. Give me 1 second here. It's like a prize fight, right? You get a champ in the ring against a challenger. Mm-hmm. And you hear the broadcast, whether it's Jim Lampley or Max Kellerman or Harold Letterman, Andre Ward, whoever. And it's like the challenger has to beat the champ. They have to beat them convincingly because if it goes to the scorecards, the champ will always get the benefit of the doubt. Well, in this situation, the Yankees were the champ and the Giants were the challenger. And in order to go get Aaron Judge, you got to knock it out the park. You got to knock him out of the park. You got to knock him out. You got to blow him away with an offer.
Exactly.
Whether it's 12 years, $450 million, 10 years, $400 million, you got to blow him away. And this is why the recruiting pitch, you guys thought I was joking, but I was dead serious. Will Clark, Willie Brown, Rennell, Curry, courtside seats at the Warriors game. You needed to pull out all the stops. You needed to pull out every single stop to go get Aaron Judge. And to me, the whole selling point was, well, you're from here. Let us sell yourself.
They thought so highly of, hey, we're the Giants. Right. You might want to come back here, that it overrated their hand.
Where was Willie Mays?
Bonds.
So
real quick, gentlemen, per Bob Nightingale, USA Today, and Odyssey MLB Insider, you just tweeted this moments ago. The primary reason why Aaron Judge flew down to San Diego on Tuesday was to meet with the San Diego Padres. They offered him $400 million over 10 years. Judge stays put in New York for $360 over 9.
So he flew to San Diego knowing that the Giants were out of the question. He left here last week.
That makes me.
He left here last week. There's so much for him buying houses in the Bay Area. So much for him house hunting.
A hotel source, Bonte.
Hotel source.
The fact that the Padres were sniffing around and he gave them a last-minute visit, just in general.
Preller is ridiculous, by the way, their GM. $400 million.
Again, he's in on everyone. And everybody, when they got Machado, it's an overpay. It's an overpay. Who's giving immature Machado a 10-year, $300 million deal? How's it look now? Machado's better than any player the Giants got.
Here's my deal during the season. When the Giants started losing, and we knew the Judge noise, and we knew he was going to become a free agent, the biggest question I had was, why would he leave the Yankees, who's been knocking on the door of World Series after World Series? Yeah, I know they haven't beat the Astros. They've been close.
But they've got a lot of bloated contracts that aren't very good.
No. Hold on. Let me finish.
I know. I'm just saying.
Just get a word in. It's your show. Let me just get a word in real quick. He's been knocking on the door with the Yankees. They've been in the playoffs. That's all you can ask for is to get in the tournament. He's been in that tournament. And I asked a question during the season. Why is coming home enough when you look at this roster?
No.
When you look at this farm system?
He was
when you look
prong
at this regime?
one in, you were hoping, prong one of a 5 or 6 step prong of free agency.
So, like, all I was thinking the whole time was, why would he pick the Giants? Why? They're far away from contending for a World Series. They're behind the Padres and Dodgers, and hell, I don't even know if they're above the Diamondbacks right now with all the young talent that they have. And that's with an extra playoff spot in the playoffs.
I know.
That's with an extra spot in Major League Baseball. They're not close. So why would a guy at 31 years old who's tasted the postseason, who's tasted champagne for winning divisions or wild card rounds or divisional series, why would he leave that to come to the Giants when their biggest selling point was, well, our farm system is going to be up by 2024? I kept saying that the whole time. And it just felt like I was talking to a wall at some point, and so I said, okay, let's see how it plays out.
Well, but I think one thing that I will say is that the Yankees roster is not a playoff roster without Aaron Judge.
But they can reload quicker than the Giants.
but I'm saying,
and he knows that.
They're
in it. The Yankees are in on every free agent.
I agree, but their payroll is as bloated as it's ever been, and they are locked into certain contracts.
They will, but they'll move off of it. They're the Yankees.
I'm just saying. You're asking what the argument is, and I'm telling you what it is.
Big time teams worry about that stuff.
Do you think that they're a playoff team if you take
Yankees?
Judge off them? Yes. He carried them to the playoffs this year.
He'll carry them again to the playoffs.
But if I'm as good as he is, I'm thinking, let me see what I could do if I could create my entire own team, which is what Bryce Harper's doing.
Don't they have another prospect too?
Oh, the Yankees? Their farm is not that highly touted.
All right, let's bring in Dave Sims. Dave Sims, I can't wait to talk to him about Mitch Haniger. 3 years, $43 million. Knocked out after 2 years. 2021 had a monster year with the Seattle Mariners. And, of course, they break their 20-year playoff drought last season, although he only played 57 games. We're going to find out what happened to Mitch Haniger last year. We're going to find out what type of guy he is in the clubhouse. We already know he went to Archbishop Mitty down in San Jose. Let's bring in Dave Sims. Root Sports. He's all over the place. Sirius XM podcast with Coach K. It's a really good podcast. Mr. Sims, good morning, man. Welcome to the Morning Roast here in San Francisco. Glad you could join us today.
I tell you, Joe, good to be with you, fellas. How you doing?
Oh, we're hurting a little bit. Aaron Judge spurned the Giants.
I can tell. I heard your voice.
Yeah, he spurned the Giants. I'm trying to be the Dr. Phil of the show, but it's not working. But let's get to Haniger. What kind of hitter are the Giants getting in Mitch Haniger?
Tell you what, when he's been healthy, you look at the 18 season, you look at the 21 season, he played 157 games in both years. Dude, he cranked it out, 26 and 93 and 859 OPS in the 18 season. He was an all-star. In 21, 39 and 100 with an 804 OPS. Mm-hmm. When he's healthy, the dude's a big-time hitter. And his problem, he needs to have, I wish him all the luck in the world because back in July of 17 at our place in Seattle, he took a Jacob deGrom fastball in his face and missed 20 games. Makes the All-Star team in 18. This past season looked like he had worked like a dog to get healthy. Now he had various and sundry injuries, and then COVID hit him this year, so he was done after a few. I don't know, early in the month, and then he had a high ankle sprain when he comes back late in April, and then it kept him out till August 6th. So the basic theme is when he's healthy, he is one heck of a good player for you.
So then why isn't Seattle re-signing him? Because they feel like a young, up-and-coming, exciting team. Why do you think that is it just he wanted to come home? Like, why isn't Seattle in on him?
Free agency was, at his fingertips. He wanted to try it out, and he ends up in San Francisco. I mean, remember talking to him about, him growing up and who are your guys. He was a big Bonds guy, big Giants guy, so I'm not surprised that he went home. Not at all.
What are we getting in terms of a defensive player or a clubhouse guy? Like, take me in, because we know the hitting numbers. They're eye-popping, and thank you for the context on the injuries.
Yeah, no problem. Great guy. Character-wise, you got nothing to worry about. He'll be a good clubhouse guy. He's not a super rah-rah guy, but I tell you what, he leads by example, and he's one of those, E.F. Hutton kind of guys. When he does speak, everybody listens. And he works his ass off. I mean, to the point where he's maniacal. And that's how he got himself back in shape to come back for the 22 season. So you don't have anything to worry about there. Outfield-wise, strong, pretty accurate arm. I mean, I'm sure there's some defensive metrics out there that you can look at, but I'm telling you, from a guy, I'm older than you guys, so I go by what I see.
Yeah, old school. I prefer that, Dave.
Roger that, my man. Mucho gracias.
Jeez. We're a dying breed, Dave. It drives me nuts. Oh, his WAR plus metric BABIP. I'm like, gee, is he a good ball player or not?
Hey, and in the language where I come from, I won't threaten your FCC language, but can he effing play? Can he freaking play? Come on.
Exactly.
I see him get to balls when he's in right field. He plays largely right field. That's his position. Gets to the line well, hits the cutoff man. He's throwing guys out at second. I've seen him throw guys out at third. He gets good jumps. He does a good job going back diagonally to his right, especially to his right. He can cover the gap. I don't know who's in center field for you guys, but that'll be a good pairing right there. I'm sure your center fielder's a good one defensively. So I think that's gonna be good. And he's not a speed burner, but he's one of those guys that runs the bases well. He cuts the bags, and he's a smart baseball player. He's not gonna, if he's on second, less than 2 outs, ball hits at a shortstop right at him, he's not gonna try to get to third. He's not one of those knuckleheads. So I think you're getting a dude that he's going to be. He and his family will be thrilled to have him back in the home area. I mean, we're going to miss him because, like I said, what he did to get us close to the playoffs last year was phenomenal. I think he drove in all the runs in that game 161 against the Angels, and I went nuts on that 8th inning 2-run single. And he's a quality dude. So you're getting a hell of a package. I mean, Aaron Judge is, if you will, an outlier. I mean, 62 home runs, yada, yada, yada. I'm not surprised he stayed. I think, all due respect to the Giants and the run that you guys have had.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about that. Did you ever think he was going to sign with the Giants? Because I'm looking at the Giants from afar. I don't know how close they are to a World Series, but leaving the Yankees and what they have out there, and I know they got some bloated contracts and they're a little long in the tooth, but it's the Yankees, and they've been knocking on the door of a World Series for a number of years now. You didn't ever think he was going to leave New York City, huh?
I thought it was a chance when the Giants got in, but I'm with you. Here's the deal. Selected and drafted by the Yankees, raised by the Yankees. Mm-hmm. He's established himself as a superstar. He's put himself with the 62 home runs in a pantheon of all the greats who have played here. He follows in Jeter's footsteps. He's going to probably be the captain. I guess that was part of the deal, too. He's going to be Yankee captain in New York City, making $40 million a year and opportunity for more like stupid ancillary money from Madison Avenue. I mean, he's checking every box. God love you guys, but that's hard to beat.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dave, do me a favor. Kick their ass this year. I hate the Yankees. I'm so
devastated.
We
beat them 4 out of 6 last year.
Yeah, I know.
No doubt.
I'm rooting for you guys.
Guess what, Dave? The Giants get the first crack at them because they visit Yankee Stadium to start the season in 2023. So
just
the Giants
rub it in our face.
Oh, my God. That's right. I forgot about that.
They get the first crack in Yankee Stadium. Dave Sims. Check out his podcast or his Sirius XM Radio, Basketball and Beyond with Coach K. It's really good. Fox Sports 1, the Big East East Hoops. We love the Big East tournament. We got to get out there to the Garden for that tournament. And, of course, the voice of the Seattle Mariners. Dave, we've been fans from afar for a long time. We appreciate the time. Thanks for the insight. I'm Mitch Haniger.
You bet, fellas. Thank you very much, and look you up next time we come to San
Hell yeah.
Be well.
I can't wait to see Julio in person.
No doubt. J-Rod. They got a star.